Hello and welcome to our UK Budget Special Day 2025. Here we're going to speak with small businesses and with any businesses to share with us what are the expectations from the budget and to record their first reactions after the announcement.
What stood out for you, Rich?
Well, Hayden, thanks for asking me back. So that's interesting. So I think one of the most difficult things is we talked earlier about electric vehicles. I think for any business that's running electric vehicles, I said that's a big additional cost. I think when we look at like typical service engineers and salespeople, people who are travelling out to see clients, we all know face-to-face meetings are really important. And if you're using an EV and you're doing 20,000 miles a year, which is not unusual if you're working in business, that's a big cost. So like that's another £600 per year. So that's one thing. I think we were thinking earlier about obviously the families and for families like one of the things that's a real concern. Obviously, I find it amazing that we're going to give an extra child benefit for extra children, which is good. But I think the negative side of that is, does that money actually go to the children? Does it benefit the children, or is that only helping, or is it just helping the individuals? So they're getting that extra money back. So that's something that maybe it's not always considered. I think the other thing, for all company directors, obviously there's that big increase now. A lot of SMEs and small startup businesses, one of the reasons why companies become relatively efficient and to encourage entrepreneurship is to make sure that actually to become an entrepreneur and to set up your own business, that takes a lot of money initially to start off with, and if businesses are having to pay more tax at that point, that's a big cost. It might be okay for the high-end directors, but like for small businesses, that's a big cost, I think, and that's a big impact.
Definitely, going through your points, like the child benefit thing, I agree there. Because when it comes to things like that, I really think it should be more about distributing resources rather than just saying, here's money. Yes. I think a lot of issues that people are trying to address, it can't just be solved with money. It's like you get, on a quick tangent, when you see things about billionaires reaching new levels of wealth, and then you see the post where it talks about, oh, this billionaire could pay this amount of money and end world hunger and end this problem. It's like you can't just walk down Sainsbury's and go, bananas, pears, oh, world hunger, I'll buy that today and fix that problem. It's more about resources, and I'm exactly with you. If the child benefit is, if they're removing that cap on 2 children, and it doesn't matter how many children now, is the money going to benefit the child? And it will be possible to take advantage of that system and take advantage of the benefits. Yeah. Whereas I think it should be, how can we distribute resources so that children this can come into like in schools, having more access to free school meals, like free breakfast clubs, lunch, free lunches and such. If more children can get access to that, it means that they're getting fed and hopefully it's a nice hearty meal for them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I agree with you on that point. Does it make you feel more incentivized as a business owner, or does it kind of make you more nervous?
No, you have to be incentivized because at the end of the day, you can't give up. You have to keep pushing, and we have to be resilient. Yeah. And despite what the Chancellor says, our mindset has to be right. Yeah. So we need to have a positive mindset. We need to make the most. We need to see opportunities, take hold of those opportunities, and build something to build a future for this country and to build a future for the local economy. This is really important.
I'll give you one last question. If you could enforce any rule, any benefit, any cut, what would it be? One thing.
I would reduce corporation tax for SMEs to incentivise more and more businesses to be started and to allow businesses to invest and to grow effectively. Yeah. That's what I would do.
I like that because I think, especially like when you start a business, the first few years you're taking a big sacrifice, a big risk, and it can feel like you go through that whole slog with very little reward and such. Like one example, I was just talking to Greg and saying like, you start a business and you won't take a salary, or you'll take the smallest thing you can, but then when you're able to take a good salary, you're then paying the same tax as someone employed. And it's like, it'd be nice if there was a benefit that you go through those years, you start earning a salary and you get like a tax relief for the first few years to compensate for those years that you were building and weren't taking an income.
Let's see what happens.
Pleasure.
Cheers. Thank you, Aidan.